Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, going for your daily walk, staying active, and yet your body still feels stiff? Maybe your balance isn't quite what it used to be, or you get winded a little faster than you did even just a year ago. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And before you blame it on aging, let me tell you something surprising. Walking, while wonderful, isn't the full answer. Now don't get me wrong, walking is fantastic. It's gentle on the joints, gets the heart moving, clears the mind, and gives you a chance to connect with the world around you. But here's the thing, after 60, your body needs more than just one type of movement. If walking is the only thing you're doing, you might be leaving your balance, strength, and even independence at risk. Let's take a moment to think about this. Walking is mostly a forward movement, step after step, one foot in front of the other. But what about side-to-side motion? What about reaching, bending, standing from a chair, or catching yourself if you trip? Those are the movements that keep you strong and stable in everyday life. And the truth is, if you don't use those abilities, you start to lose them. I once spoke with a gentleman named Mr. Long. He's 68 and used to walk 3 miles a day, rain or shine. But then he had a minor fall in his kitchen, and it shook his confidence. When we dug into his routine, we realized something. While his heart was strong from walking, his leg muscles and core were weakening because he wasn't challenging them in other ways. It was a wake-up call for him. And maybe, just maybe, it can be one for you too. So, in this video, we're going to talk about 5 simple but powerful types of movement that can work with your walking routine, not against it, to help you move better, feel stronger, and stay independent longer. And don't worry, these don't require a gym, a personal trainer, or any fancy equipment. Most of them you can do right in your living room. Let's start with something incredibly important that many people over 60 often overlook: strength training. Now, I know what you might be thinking, strength training? At my age? And I hear you. The image of lifting heavy dumbbells or going to a weight room can be intimidating. But strength training isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about preserving the muscle you already have and gently building on it so that simple things like standing from a chair, carrying groceries, or walking upstairs stay easy, not exhausting. Your muscles are like your body's engines. And just like a car engine needs to be turned on and used regularly, your muscles need to be challenged to stay strong. If not, they slowly shrink, a process called sarcopenia, which leads to weakness, slower movement, and even falls. But the good news is, it's never too late to start rebuilding. Even small movements like doing squats while holding the back of a chair or rising up on your toes to strengthen your calves can make a real difference. I once met a lovely lady named Balan who told me she struggled to lift her rice cooker from the counter because her arms had become weak. After just 3 weeks of doing light resistance exercises, using simple water bottles for weights, she said with a smile, "Now I can carry it with one hand." That's the kind of everyday strength that really matters. Next up, let's talk about balance exercises. Balance is one of those things you don't think much about until it starts to slip. And when it does, it's scary. One misstep, one slip on the bathroom floor, and suddenly everything changes. But here's the hopeful part: balance can be trained, just like a muscle. And the sooner you start, the more stable and confident you'll feel with every step. There are easy ways to work on this. You can practice standing on one leg while brushing your teeth, or walking in a straight line, heel to toe, like you're on a tightrope. These small things strengthen the connection between your muscles, joints, and brain, so they all work together to keep you upright and steady. Think about your balance like the roots of a tree. The stronger and deeper those roots are, the more likely you are to stay grounded, even when life throws a strong wind your way. And who wouldn't want to feel rooted, strong, and steady every day? Finally, before we move on, I want to share something that often surprises people. Your core strength is crucial, even if you're not trying to get a six-pack. Your core isn't just your stomach. It's everything that wraps around your middle, your back, abs, and the muscles that help you twist, bend, and even breathe properly. And after 60, keeping your core strong helps prevent back pain, supports your posture, and even improves your balance. You don't need crunches or sit-ups. Gentle movements like seated knee lifts, pelvic tilts, or even deep belly breathing while lying on your back can wake up those muscles again. And once they're activated, they start supporting your whole body more efficiently. I remember talking with a man named Chunam who used to slouch a lot and get tired just standing to cook a simple meal. After adding a short, daily core routine to his morning stretch, he said not only did his lower back stop aching, but he stood taller and breathed better. That's the power of a strong center. Now that we've touched on strength, balance, and core stability, you might already be thinking about where you could start, what movements would feel manageable, even enjoyable. That's the spirit I hope to encourage. Because the goal here isn't perfection. It's consistency. A little bit each day builds into a lot over time. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. You know, something beautiful happens when we start adding just a bit of variety into our movements. It's like watering different parts of a garden, each section begins to bloom in its own way. Walking gets your heart going and clears your mind, yes, but when you include movements that challenge your body in new directions, you're giving yourself a deeper kind of strength, the kind that shows up when you need it most. Let's talk about flexibility. It's one of those things that tends to slip away quietly as we get older, like a drawer that gets harder and harder to open until one day, it won't budge. You might notice it when trying to tie your shoes, reach for something behind you, or stretch your arm to pull a seatbelt across your chest. And it's not just inconvenient, it's a signal that your muscles and joints need a bit more attention. Flexibility is what helps you move through life without discomfort. It keeps your stride smooth, your back relaxed, and your shoulders from feeling tight and sore. But here's the good news, improving flexibility doesn't require hours of yoga or painful stretching. Sometimes, it's as simple as doing slow, controlled movements, reaching overhead, bending gently side to side, or circling your ankles and wrists while sitting in a chair. There's something calming about it, too. I remember one woman, Ko Han, in her 70s, who began adding just 10 minutes of gentle stretches to her evening routine. She said it felt like giving her body a thank you at the end of the day. Her stiffness eased, her sleep improved, and even her mood lifted. Because flexibility isn't just physical, it affects how you feel emotionally, too. Now, speaking of emotions, let's not forget the role movement plays in mental clarity and emotional well-being. That brings us to another incredibly important type of movement, mind-body exercise. These are activities that combine gentle motion with deep breathing, mindfulness, and calm focus. Think of Tai Chi, Qigong, or slow, meditative stretching. These movements might look simple from the outside, small shifts, flowing arms, gentle turns, but inside, they're doing powerful work. They connect the nervous system with the muscles. They calm the mind while still engaging the body. And for people over 60, this connection is essential. It helps with memory, mood, even reducing the risk of falls by improving body awareness. A man named Bac Kwong once told me he started doing Tai Chi at the park after retiring. At first, he joined just to socialize. But within a few weeks, he noticed something unexpected. His hands stopped trembling when pouring tea. He could turn his head more easily while backing up his motorbike. And more than anything, he said he simply felt more alive when moving through those peaceful, flowing patterns. That's the magic of mind-body movement. It strengthens not only your muscles but your sense of calm and control. And in a world that often feels too rushed, taking even a few moments to slow down and be present with your own body can be a beautiful form of self-care. So now we've added strength, balance, core stability, flexibility, and mind-body connection into the picture. When you weave these types of movement into your day, even just a few minutes at a time, you're building a foundation for more than just physical health. You're creating a daily practice that supports your independence, your confidence, and your sense of peace. And none of this needs to be overwhelming. In fact, the gentler you are with yourself, the more likely you are to stick with it. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just focus on doing it consistently. Like a plant that grows best with just the right amount of sunlight and water each day, your body thrives with regular, thoughtful care. One of the best ways to make these movements part of your life is to tie them to something you already do. Maybe while waiting for the kettle to boil, you do a few side steps or leg lifts. While watching your favorite TV show, you can practice deep belly breathing or stretch your arms above your head. Even brushing your teeth can become a moment to stand on one foot and train your balance. These tiny, almost invisible routines build up over time. I met a couple, Antoine and Badong, who started doing their stretching and balance exercises together every morning before breakfast. They said it became their moment each day, a time to check in with each other, laugh at how stiff they felt, and celebrate small victories, like touching their toes or standing taller. It wasn't just about movement anymore, it became a ritual of connection and joy. That's what I hope you'll find in this journey. Not just better physical health, but also a stronger connection with your body, your breath, and maybe even with someone you love. Because at the end of the day, movement is life. And the more freely you can move, the more fully you can live. You've already made one powerful choice just by being here, by staying curious, open, and committed to taking care of yourself. That speaks volumes about your strength and your heart. Let that guide you. Let's take a breath together for a second. You've come this far, thinking about your body, how it moves, how it supports you, and what it needs now, not 20 years ago, but today. That right there shows strength. So let's continue gently with the last piece of this movement puzzle, one that's often overlooked but can make a world of difference. I'm talking about mobility movements. Not flashy, not complicated, but absolutely essential. Mobility is what allows your joints to move through their full range of motion without pain. You know that creaky feeling in your knees when you get out of a chair? Or how your shoulders resist when you try to reach up high? That's your body asking for more mobility. What's beautiful about mobility work is that it isn't about pushing harder. It's about easing into movement. Small, deliberate circles with your wrists and ankles. Rotating your neck slowly side to side. Gently lifting your knees while seated or doing a slow cat-cow stretch for your back. These movements are quiet, but they whisper healing messages to your joints. I knew a woman in her early 70s, her name was Lynn, who struggled to raise her arms above her head without pain. Washing her hair or reaching the top shelf became frustrating. Her granddaughter showed her a 5-minute shoulder mobility routine online, and she committed to doing it every evening. After a few weeks, she told me, "It's like oiling a rusty door, it doesn't squeak anymore." That's exactly what mobility work does. It's the oil for your joints, the softness your body craves after years of wear and tear. And the best part? You can do it almost anywhere, anytime. You don't need a gym or equipment. Just a little time, a little attention, and a lot of patience. And that's really the key, isn't it? Patience. Because the journey to a stronger, more agile body in your 60s and beyond isn't about speed. It's not a race to who can do the most push-ups or walk the farthest. It's about consistency. About listening to your body instead of fighting it. About making movement feel like a gift, not a punishment. When you give your body what it needs, strength for protection, balance for stability, core control for posture, flexibility for ease, mind-body connection for peace, and mobility for freedom, you're creating a body that will support you in the most meaningful way. It will help you get up off the floor after playing with your grandkids. It will let you garden without pain. It will help you dance at weddings, lift groceries with confidence, and sleep more soundly at night. I want you to picture something. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You've been doing these small movements daily, just 10 to 15 minutes a day. You feel steadier on your feet. You reach without grimacing. You notice your shoulders don't ache as much, and your lower back feels looser in the mornings. Maybe your posture even improves and you walk a little taller. That version of you? That's not just possible. It's waiting for you, just on the other side of these gentle, consistent habits. Don't underestimate what tiny shifts can do. You don't need a big transformation overnight. The real power is in showing up for yourself every day in small ways. Doing a few leg lifts while brushing your teeth. Adding some side stretches before lunch. Breathing deeply while rolling your shoulders back before you go to sleep. These quiet actions? They're the building blocks of long-term freedom and joy. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Maybe you invite a friend or partner to join you. Maybe you set a little reminder on your phone that says, "Move gently." Maybe you join an online group or watch videos with others doing the same thing. Support makes it stick. Laughter makes it easier. Love makes it worth it. Before we close, I just want to say this: you deserve to feel good in your body. Not just when you were young. Not just on good days. Every day. At every age. You deserve to wake up feeling strong, capable, and at home in your own skin. Your body has carried you through so much. The least we can do is give it the care and movement it's asking for now. If this video spoke to you, if any part of it made you pause and think, "Yes, I want that for myself," then I hope you'll start today. Not next week. Not when things slow down. Today. Even if it's just a shoulder roll or standing tall for a few seconds. That's enough. You are enough. I'd love to hear what movement brings you the most joy, or what small habit you're excited to try. Share your story in the comments, because your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. We've got so many more tips, stories, and simple health boosts coming your way. You're not alone in this journey. You've got a whole community walking beside you, cheering you on, and rooting for your wellness. Here's to waking up each day with a body that feels strong, balanced, and ready to move. Here's to living your best life at any age. And most of all, here's to you.